Hello and welcome to FPL Mate, your best mate for fantasy Premier League content for the 2021-22 season. My name is Dan and welcome to the long-awaited return of the 100 Experts videos. The videos where we go through 100 of the top FPL players. You know, the pundits, the creators, all of the people who love FPL so much and kind of see what their transfer moves, their captain moves, their chip moves are for the week to try and identify some trends and therefore maybe try and derive some good advice from that data. So that's what we're going to be doing today for Game Week 26. I really hope you enjoy this video. This has taken a long while to gather the data because there is just so much data, so many transfer plans and chip plans going all over the place. I've compiled it all into this one video, so likes on the video massively appreciated because this one was a lot of work. And of course, subscribe as well if you enjoy the video. But without further ado, let's meet our 100. So on screen in front of you guys, you will see 100 names of FPL experts, pundits, bloggers, podcasters, all kind of people who are involved in the FPL world. And these are the people who have contributed their data for today's video. And we're going to try and analyze the data. We're going to find out exactly what they are up to. What are the trends here? So thank you so much to everyone who got involved. Massively appreciate it. This is, this data is going to help so many people. So those of you in the 100, you are absolute legends. Thank you so much. So without further ado, let's have a look at some of the very, very generic trends. So out of our 100 managers, 24% are making one transfer, 51% are making two transfers, 22% are making three or more transfers. I think that includes 3% who are making four transfers. Yes, 4 transfers in a single game week. 1% of managers are not making any transfers. So only 1 out of 100 aren't making transfers this week. Only one person rolling. So that's pretty significant that this is a big transfer week, right? And 2% of managers are using their free hit. We've got no wild cards either there. So, guys, there is so many transfers going on. It seems, very strange to not be using a transfer this game week. And it seems like, most, kind of like over 70%, 73%. Are using 2 or more transfers this game week. So it's a big game week for transfers. There are a lot of people taking hits, people taking -4s, people taking -8s, even people taking -12s. And these are good FPL managers as well, taking these massive hits to try and take advantage of this game week. So maybe that settles your nerves a little bit if you are going for those hits. This is a big week for transfers, a very big week for transfers. But I'm going to add an additional slide this game week because we want to see what kind of chips our experts are using as well. And we are at a 95% chip usage situation out of our 100 managers. So 95% are using a chip, or at least, a chip. You can only use one chip per week. The 5% are not. But of the 95 who are, no one's using a wild card, so that's not happening this game week. It doesn't seem like a very good game week for a wild card. 6% of our 100 managers are using a bench boost. 87%. That is an insanely high percentage. 87% are using the triple captain chip this week. And considering that a lot of these people may have used their triple captain already, it's just mind-blowing. I imagine that most people, nearly all people who still have their triple captainship remaining will be using their triple captainship in this game week unless they're maybe going for a bench boost instead. It really is an insane amount of people using their triple captain. 87%. That's wild in one game week. 87% of triple captainships gone in one game week. Mad, but you kind of can understand why with the Salah situation. We have also got 2% of our managers using the free hit chip as well, perhaps not so well set up for game week 26 in terms of doublers, so have had to resort to a free hit chip as well. So that is something that is a possibility. If you find yourself in the situation where you have to use your free hit, then fair enough, but it does seem like the overwhelming majority are going for the triple captain chip in game week 26. That is the big play of the game week. So I'd like to go next in these videos and just talk about the most popular Game Week 26 transfers in general. Who are the everyman kind of transferring in FPL, the people who are maybe not so engaged with FPL. Let's see what the most popular transfers are in the world. So this is not our 100 experts, this is the most popular transfers in the world of every single FPL player in the world. So Salah massively leading the way here, over 500,000 already. So 500,000 people have transferred in Salah already. captaincy. I would imagine that easily goes to 1 million by deadline, maybe even more. It's really a crazy week, and everyone's bringing in Salah, and you can completely understand why. It is the return of Salah this week, really, isn't it? It's the big Salah game week. But there are some other kind of popular players in there. Saka, Broja, Bowen and Coutinho all up there as well, before, we see some other kind of interesting options there as well. But how do these relate to our experts? Do our experts agree that these players are the best players to bring in? Well, kinda. Actually, yeah, there's quite a few. As you guys can see, there's quite a few players who kind of match up. So Salah, Saka, Jimenez, Ramsdale, Son, Tierney and Lacazette are also generating a lot of interest among our 100 experts. So I think for a large part, we are kind of all on the same page here, which is really good to see. There are a couple of players like Broja and Gabriel that are kind of, I think maybe 1 or 2 people have brought in each of those players, Broja and Gabriel. So they are kind of a tiny bit popular, but not super popular. But there are some players who are just not popular at all among our experts in this list. And those players are Bowen, Coutinho and Jota. Now, Bowen and Jota may be a little bit misleading, just because I would imagine that most experienced FPL players will already have Bowen and Jota in their team. But kind of interestingly, Jota is actually being sold by a few people, mostly to make way for Salah. If they're already tripled up on Liverpool players, Jota could be the only way to get to a Salah. So that's the reason why a few people are actually selling a Jota this week, even expert managers selling him, so which is quite crazy. Coutinho, on the other hand, as far as I'm aware, not extremely highly owned among FPL experts, but also no one's really interested in bringing him in either. He doesn't have a double game week, so that makes sense. You can say similar things about Bowen. Doesn't have a double game week, not that interesting. So there you go. Just something to consider there. Now let's move on and have a look at our 100 experts data. Who are they selling? Who are the experts selling this game week? Well, they are selling Bruno Fernandes. Kind of at large, actually. 58 out of the 97 managers who are using at least one transfer this week are using one of their transfers to sell Bruno Fernandes. That is a huge amount of sales for Fernandes. It's very rare to see a player this unanimously sold by FPL managers, so that's quite wild, that's quite wacky. A lot of people obviously had Fernandes for the double game week and are now moving Fernandes on to, who. It's probably going to be Salah, isn't it? We're probably going to see on the next page it's going to be Salah, but yeah, Fernandes, massively popular sale here. You can also see Ronaldo, a lot of sales for Ronaldo as well, and De Gea. So we can really see an exodus of Manchester United players right now, really. So people are jumping off those Manchester United players who a lot of us were heavily invested in for those couple of double game weeks we've kind of had recently, heavily invested in those Manchester United players. But we do know that Manchester United, they don't have double game weeks coming up at all, and also their fixtures are going to turn a little bit worse in the near future. So in a couple of game weeks time, Manchester United fixtures are going to look a lot worse. Plus there's also the form of Manchester United as well, just not looking too hot at the moment, are they? So for that reason, those players are super popular transfers out. But there are a couple of other interesting transfers out here. A lot of people selling Antonio, had enough of him. He's not got a double game week, so it's a good excuse to finally get rid of him. Foden is going maybe as a make weight, try and free up a little bit of money to make that Salah transfer. Foden can be used as a make weight. Also, we're kind of fearing maybe a little bit of rotation for Man City, with the Champions League and all kind of competitions they're involved in. Damari Gray as well, he's off. See you later. De Bruyne, another good make weight for Salah. Straight swap there, really, isn't it? And Ollie Watkins, people have had enough of him, and we've got some kind of other random players being sold at the bottom there as well. So those are the most popular transfers out among our 100 experts. Let's have a look and see who is being brought in. So there's no surprises here. There's really no surprises here. 62 out of 97. So an amazing 2/3 are bringing in Salah for this game week. And if I had to be honest with you guys, I imagine the other third probably already have Salah in their team. I think there's only one person who's actively said, I'm going to go Salahless in game week 26. So one expert out of 100. So that is a really out there, very risky strategy to go without Salah. So it is literally balls to the wall, whatever it takes to make it happen. Get Salah in your team if you don't have him in there already. But there are also some other players that are kind of interesting because I've spoken so much about getting in Salah this game week. I'm probably sure you guys are sick of hearing it, and you guys know already. So it's more kind of about who else could you bring in. So Weghorst is a really good option that a lot of people are going for among our experts. Really interesting player. He's looking really good at the moment, and we know that Burnley have 2 double game weeks in a row. So it's nice to get on those Burnley players, this is an interesting one because Weghorst, although he features very highly, he's regarded very highly among expert managers, it seems like, you know, more casual players, more relaxed part-time FPL players, maybe you want to call them, are not so interested in Weghorst, because usually when people are not as experienced in FPL, they kind of look for points rather than performances, whereas an expert will use performances to try and predict points. So it does seem like the experts are predicting good, big things from Weghorst, so very exciting stuff there. But also Son is in there. That's an exciting one. Obviously, he's got a double game week and some good fixtures coming up. People are excited about Son. I mean, what other aside from Salah, what kind of other premium do you probably want in your team right now? Aside from Son, it's kind of, there's not really any other options, is there? Salah, Son, and then who else? I don't know. Maybe Kane. He is on this list, to be fair, as well, Kane. Interestingly, we've got Ramsdale here coming in at joint third, 17 transfers in, which is pretty huge, considering a lot of people already have Ramsdale. 17 transfers in for Ramsdale is pretty enormous, really. We don't usually see those kind of numbers with goalkeepers. So obviously people are really liking the look of the double game week for Arsenal. And the great thing about Ramsdale is that you can buy him in. If you have two playing goalkeepers, you can buy Ramsdale for this double game week, and then you can bench him in the following game week and play your other goalkeeper, because we know Ramsdale blanks in the second game week. Whereas kind of with your outfield Arsenal players, it's a little bit more difficult, because you'll have to transfer them out again, because, you know, the great thing is that you'll have 3 outfield Liverpool players. You can't add an additional Arsenal outfield player, because then, you know, you're not going to have a full set of 11 players. I've spoken about this before. But yeah, Saka is an outfield player that you might consider for Arsenal, as is Tierney, Lacazette. So yeah, some decent Arsenal options there, particularly if you are happy to transfer back out Arsenal players and Liverpool players in game week 27, or you're planning a free hit in game week 27. These are the really good Arsenal players you want to be going for: Saka, Tierney, and maybe Lacazette as well, if you are looking for that that Arsenal player to spice up your team a little bit in their decent double game week. Other interesting players: Jimenez, Kane, Cornet has also got the double as well as Weghorst, if you like the look of him. I've grouped up me and Tarkowski here as well, just because, you know, there's very little difference between the two players. You know, when people talk about who they're going to get out of me and Tarkowski, you know, if they found out they had to get one or the other, they probably wouldn't mind. You know, it's not like it's a real 50-50 decision. So a lot of people are considering a Burnley defender is basically what I'm trying to say there. 5 out of 97 transfers, so or 97 people making transfers. So yeah, kind of interesting one to go for there, and that's pretty much it. So guys, before we talk about captaincy, and we are going to talk about the captaincy and the percentage of our experts going for each captain choice, let's have a quick look at some potential transfer moves that you guys could make at home. So first of all, let's talk about how to get Salah into your team, and there seems to be a few really obvious ways of doing that. You guys will have at least one premium in your team right now, and imagine your premiums that you have are at least one of Fernandes, De Bruyne, and Ronaldo. So the most straightforward transfer to make, the most slam dunk transfer of the game week, is a straight move from Fernandes to Salah. Very easy to do that. If you haven't got Fernandes, or if you want to keep Fernandes, for example, De Bruyne to Salah also works really well there. But if you are, you want to keep your De Bruyne or your Fernandes, or, you know, you don't even have those two players and you need to find another way of getting in Salah, maybe you have Ronaldo, and you can do a double transfer here and swap Ronaldo and a cheaper midfielder that you have for Salah and a cheaper forward that you would like to bring in. So for example, a cheaper midfielder could be someone like Demarai Gray, who you might want to remove from your team, someone like that. He's a pretty popular transfer out, or any other midfielder that you just don't really like the look of too much at the moment. Then you can bring in Salah, a cheaper forward. Maybe your cheaper forward is someone like Weghorst, and that way you get both of the two most popular transfers among our experts. Maybe you want someone cheaper, maybe you go for a Broja, Jimenez, Lacazette, whoever. You could do a double transfer and swap Ronaldo and a cheaper midfielder for Salah and a cheaper forward, and you get everything that you want. Now, in terms of the non-Salah transfers you might want to make in addition to getting Salah, or if you already have Salah, you know, you want to make some other transfers, here are some other interesting suggestions. So Fernandes to Son seems like a really popular transfer move as well. People wanted to get rid of Fernandes, so sick of Manchester United by now, and they want to get in Son for his double game week, and they perhaps have a lot more faith in Son going forward as well, which is kind of understandable, you would say, really, wouldn't you? We've got De Gea, a swap to Ramsdale. Obviously, a lot of people have De Gea because of his double game which he's had recently. He's been a great goalkeeper, but they want Ramsdale. They want Ramsdale for his double again, you can completely understand that. A little bit of a like-for-like swap. Arguably, it's usually a waste of a transfer, making this goalkeeper transfer. But you do feel like Ramsdale against kind of Brentford and Wolves, the amount of save points he gets, the amount of bonus points he gets, the amount of clean sheets points he gets as well, you get the feeling that Ramsdale could actually be one of the highest scoring highest scoring players of Game Week 26, like full stop players. So for that reason, De Gea to Ramsdale could be an interesting one to go for. And finally, if you want to get in Weghorst and you don't really know how to get him in, Antonio and Watkins both seem like super easy players to sacrifice in order to get Weghorst into your team. I guess Dominic Calvert-Lewin you could maybe consider in that slot as well to swap to Weghorst. Again, you could even swap Weghorst for a Lacazette or a Jimenez if you prefer those two players. But again, Antonio, Watkins, maybe DCL, those are going to be the kind of players you're sacrificing in order to get these new strikers into your team. But without further ado, guys, a moment you guys may or may not have been waiting for. I don't know if you're going to get too many surprises here, if I'm completely honest. But let's have a look at the captaincy statistics among FPL experts, veterans, blah, blah, blah. Let's have a look. So, what do we have here? 94% on Salah. That is insane. Have we ever had it this high before in a video? Of my 100 experts videos, I don't think we have ever reached 94%. I think, or maybe we reached kind of 92, 93 a couple of times on Salah when he was a super obvious captain choice before. But oh my word, 94% out of our 100 FPL experts are going for a Salah captain. That is just the most obvious captain decision you will make all season. And add to that the 87% using the triple captain. You know, this is just a big Salah triple captain game week. But not everyone went for Salah, so a quick shout out to Trent and Robertson. Those were the only other two players being considered for captaincy among all of our experts. No one was considering anyone else other than Salah, Trent and Robertson. Just 5% on Trent. I think that's kind of about right. If you really are desperate for a differential this week for whatever reason, you know, I'm not gonna hype it up. And you know, looking by our expert trends as well, you know, it is very obvious that Salah is going to kind of be the best choice for captain here. We're expected a couple of goals over the double game week, aren't we? But yeah, 5% on Trent is kind of interesting. I would want to see how many of these Trent captainers end up bottling it and going for Salah in the end. And just 1% on Robertson as well, which was a kind of interesting one actually. I was kind of interested to see someone wanted to go for Robertson. That's a real differential. So I don't know maybe if they're maybe chasing some mini league or something like that. Nothing on Jota, nothing on any other Liverpool players, nothing on any players from any team outside of Liverpool, to be fair as well. But there we go. Those are the captains for this game week. 94%. It's a landslide, guys. Salah, triple captain. Easiest decision you will make all game week. So easy, guys. And there you have it. Thank you so much for watching today. This has been the 100 Experts videos. I hope you did enjoy this video. Like I said, this video took a long while to kind of compile and get all the data together and gather it all. I massively appreciate everyone who's watching and supporting this video. So please do leave a like if you did appreciate or enjoy what you saw today or found it useful in any way. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the expert trends. What do you think they are getting right? Do you think they're getting anything wrong? Do you think they're missing anything big here? What do you think? Is Salah as an obvious captain as everyone seems to think he is? Is there something else that I'm maybe not thinking about? Maybe. I don't know. But there we go, guys. I really do hope you enjoyed the video. We'll have our team selection video, and I'll do one more bonus video on Friday. Not sure what I'm going to do for my bonus video. We'll see. Maybe do something on differentials. We'll maybe do something on free hits. I know a few of you guys want me to do a free hit team. So we'll think about it. So, but yeah, there we go, guys. Stream on deadline as usual as well. And that'll be the rest of the content for the week. So thank you so much for watching, guys. And I will see you later, mates. Bye-bye.